Hello everyone, welcome back to Old Dad's Modeling Mess. And in today's video it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you how I went from this to this. Yes, that's right, I did it. You will notice I did do a little addition there, but other than that, I absolutely believe that those look 10 times better than those. So, sit back, relax. I hope you enjoy the video. And yeah, let's see how I did this. Oh, and by the way, they do slide onto the stock slots. Just so you know. Now, I actually used Blender in my 3D printer, and I came up with this here. I made a wheel. This was actually a gear, and there was a hole in the middle there, and I made the tire that went over the teeth of the gear, and I put a center cap on it, and I also made a thing so it can slide over the holes. Now, the first set that I made were actually just the same as these, except the tire part is just a little bit taller. I don't know if I can get in there good enough, but you can see that little spot right there. I wanted to make the tire a little bit nicer and smaller. And if you look at this here, boom. Boom, boom. Now, I did make two different types because on there you can see it looks a little bit different. Looks like the one in front actually had more of the little slots in it than the one in the rear. But when I did it, you can see that it's there, but for some reason I have a piece of resin that went over it. So you can see that this one here had 5 stars on it, and this one here has more. But it didn't turn out. So what I did was I just printed up another set of these, and I just used all these instead of trying to be all fancy and have more than one different road wheel on there. But again, as I said, I really do. I think that looks so much better. And with just a little bit of Blender, my 3D printer, and using some spare parts, yeah, this is what I came up with. I was going to use a bunch of road wheels and stuff that I have in my 4 boxes over here, but they are all way too small. And the big ones that I do have, you can absolutely tell that they are for, Soviet tanks and stuff like that. And I wanted it to look somewhat genuine. So with those being short and small tires, I went with short and small tires, but I went with the same size that's actually on here. So there's that. Now let's get to Blender. Okay guys, I like to mess around with doing some kit bashing and scratch building and stuff like that. So I've went, and this is Blender, and I've downloaded a whole bunch of free stuff. And since I didn't like what the wheels looked like that I had extras of, I came in here and I started messing around. I was looking for something that had like spokes in it, like the wheels on the box art do. And I found these gears. And the first gear was cool, but then I seen this one, and it looked more like the one that's on the outer running gear wheel. So I looked at it, I'm like, okay, cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm looking for some sort of a center cap to put over the hub. And I've already measured everything, and I know what sizes I need. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm enlarging it, and I'm making it because I believe the wheels themselves, when you measured them, they were 20 millimeters. So what I'm doing now is I'm making these 18 millimeters because I'm going to make the tire part here in a little bit at 20 millimeters, and then I'm going to punch out the center of it, and then I'll have just the tire part that I can put over this and hide the actual teeth of the gears. You'll understand here in a minute when you see it. But what I'm doing now is I'm making the center cap, or the hub cover, whatever you want to call it. I resized it. I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to stick it over here on this one here. And now those holes are gone. We're good to go. So now that I've got these set up, all I have to do now is I need to make the wheel and a punch for it. And so I just bring in a cylinder and I flip it over sideways, and I make it at 20 millimeters by, I believe, 1.5 millimeters thick. And then I'm going to copy and paste it. And then the one that I copy and paste, I'm actually going to I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to make it like, I think what was it, 16? And then I made it a little bit thicker. And you have to have it thicker so it'll punch the hole through there. And that's what I'm doing now. And actually what I did was I made a mistake. But you see how the wheel is there now, the rubber part of the wheel that goes on the rim. So what I did here was I didn't think. So as you can see, the rubber of the wheel is too big. So I'm going to undo everything that I just did, and then I'm going to make the punch smaller. I'm going to make it, I think it's like, what, 14 or something like that. See here in just a second. Or no. I actually, yeah, there we go. I take the punch part and I do this here. And this way here, I can make it the exact size of the outer edge of the rim part. Okay. And then what this does is it actually, you can't be wrong now. Right? I can't get it wrong. Well, you can. Trust me, I'm good at screwing this stuff up. But this way here, now all I got to do is put this back over there, center it, and the thing there. Sorry about the moving back and forth and twisting and turning and stuff, but you got to do that when you're doing this sort of stuff. And so now I'm just trying to make sure that I get it centered and everything looks right. And it looks like it needs to go left and down a little bit. And so that's what I'm doing now, is I'm just doing the fine little touch-ups, and I'm going to punch the hole again. And then now that wheel, or the rubber part of the wheel, should fit on there and cover up the teeth of the gear. So now I'm just doing the final little tweaks and making sure everything's lined up good. It needs to come over to the right and up just a fuzz, and that's what I'm doing now. And there we go. Now I've got that would be the outer road wheel that I'm doing. And I was trying to be all cool and everything, like I said earlier at the beginning of the video. I was trying to be all cool and have the inner ones, because they looked a little bit different, at least on the box art. To me it did. So I was trying to be all cool and everything, and as you can see, those worked out great too. So now all I got to do is get rid of that, and then I'm going to combine all three of those parts, and now they're one. And I'm going to do the same thing over there. Now all I have to do is, once I get those combined, I just need to make the little attachment points. And that's what I'm doing here, is I'm going to make the attachment points for the back so they slide right over the little pegs that come out on the car. And then that way there, I can just push them right on where they were supposed to go to begin with. I believe that it's like 3.5 millimeters wide, and then the hole itself for the peg itself is 2 millimeters wide. So that's what I'm doing here is, and then right here I was like, oh hey, why did I do that? Why don't I just copy both of those? That way there, all it, because when you do what I just did, that instantly centers them. Now the inner road wheels, that little connector is only 2 millimeters, and the outer road wheel, it's 5 millimeters deep. So that's what I'm doing here is, and they're on the wrong sides, but I put them where they're supposed to go, and you'll see that here. And once I get all this done, all I have to do now is get it on here, get it centered, and then make sure that it's where I want it at. The hub is, you know, the little hubcap thing there, it's actually still showing through. So now I join those. That's one piece. And then I go over and I do it on the other one. And that there actually allowed me to, as you've seen at the beginning of the video, they were sitting right on there. Now the drive wheels, basically, those there, I had stuff, I didn't need to make those. But they didn't have pegs or female attachments or anything like that on the piece itself. It was just, they hung there because of it being, you know, that big globby ass thing. But what I'm doing here is I'm going to try to, I'll show you what it's supposed to look like, or what I was hoping it would look like when I got done here. So I'm going to copy that wheel, I'll scoot it over, I'll get lined up, and then I'll copy those two, and then there's my actual drive wheels there for the model, okay, for the tracks. And so before I can print these, I actually have to separate them and flip them over on their back, because you can't print stuff on top of each other like that. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm just getting it ready for the 3D printer, and I'll go in there. I think it took me, I think once I did everything, it said that it was going to take 35 minutes to print it. So, and you'll see that here in just a second. It really did. I open up the program, I bring that in, I flip it over, or it's already flipped over on its back, or no, it's not. Okay, I flip it over on its back, I move it, I clone a second set, that way there, you know, why make more of them when I've already got it and I can just clone it. Boom, done. So printed it, and as you've seen, they actually worked out very well. As always, guys, thank you for watching my videos. If you like this, drop a like and a comment below. Let me know which one you think looks better, the old way or my way. And if you aren't already, consider subscribing. That helps the channel grow, lets me do more silly stuff like this. And we do have a Discord. Link is in the description. Check it out. We have some great builders in there. Yeah, both are free. Subscribing and Discord. So until the next video, guys, I will see you later. Thank you, and enjoy the pictures. Bye.